real estate agents. Welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. Yeah, you know him as the man with the plan. How are you doing over there?
Yo, doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Awesome.
Ooh, yeah. Got a little Randy Macho Man going today. We're the Real Estate Marketing Maniacs coming to you from Security Title Studios.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a fantastic guest with us today.
We do.
Yes, we do. Bill Drevyanko. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Bill Drevyanko.
There you go.
There we go.
Got it.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. We might have to redo that. No, let's keep going.
All right.
With VIP Investor Network and Clayton Nash Real Estate. Thanks, Bill, for coming in.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, guys.
Sorry about the name.
Oh, it happens all the time.
Okay.
Jeff's last name is pretty hard to pronounce as well. So Jeff Underwhere?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I won't tell you what happened to the last guy that said that one. No, I'm just teasing.
I'm glad I got my computer in front of me.
So how's it going, Bill?
It's going great. Other than muggy and hot, I say I'm going to get out of here in the summertime, but business gets too busy. But it's good. Everything's great.
Good. All right. Well, why don't we start by telling the agents that are watching or listening how long you've been in real estate and kind of what got you into it?
Well, I've been licensed since 2006, but I've been in real estate as an investor since '82.
Wow.
So we started out years ago. I was in the health club business as a young man, and we worked up here for a pretty big chain. And a bunch of my buddies and I decided, you know what, we can do this. So we decided to go down to Tucson, and we found a strip mall that was basically abandoned because the anchor tenant had moved out. And I started fishing around. I found some guys that were developers. We talked them into buying the strip mall. We said, we're going to put 30,000 square foot health club here, and I want you guys to buy the mall, make us minority partners, finance everything, and then we'll help you fill up the mall. And it worked. So our very first entrance into real estate investing was being a minority partner in a strip mall in Tucson, Arizona, when we built health clubs. And that was a cool experience. And we just, from there, we started flipping houses and rental houses, but we didn't get licensed until 2006.
Got it. All right. A lot of experience there, though.
A lot of mistakes to learn from.
Oh, there we go. Well, we're going to dive into the investor program or network that you have. Mm-hmm. Why don't we start with why real estate investing versus the traditional real estate route?
Well, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I like doing my own thing, and that's one of the good things I love about real estate, time freedom. You can create your own financial freedom. Really don't have a boss, but I've never been excited about traditional real estate. And there's so many realtors out there, and I think there's a lot of good ones, and then there's a lot of chumpy ones out there too, to be honest, that make it look bad for a lot of the hardworking agents. But I never really wanted to be involved in traditional buying and selling. I loved investing. So over the years, we've done fix, we've done flips, we've done buy and holds, we've done commercial stuff, we've even done some land deals. And I amassed a network of people. To today, we're about 300 investors from all over the world that are mostly cash buyers. And we just started doing deals together. And in 2006, I was introduced to the market, said, you know what, you're doing all these deals. Why don't you get licensed and represent us? And I said, good idea. I think it gives me more credibility because there's so many investors out there that are hacks. And I just kind of tell it like it is. There's a lot of great investors. I've got a lot of good friends in the industry, and they're true professionals, but then there's a lot of wannabes, a lot of hacks, a lot of people that go to these weekend seminars that these gurus fly in from out of town, and they sell them a $1,200 program for 3 days, and they teach them nothing more than go out there with their contracts and how to find properties for them, and then they're nothing more than really a bird dog. They're not a true investor. So when you have investors that are saying they're investors and they're going out there and really screwing up the market, it's like having a bad realtor screwing it up for good, legitimate realtors.
Sure.
So when I got into real estate in 2006, I had an in with builders. And I contacted a few builders, and I said, look, you've got all these models. I'll buy the models, and you lease them back from me. And I gave them the logic of why that worked for them and the balance sheet and everything else. And from 2006 to 2008, we sold over 400 model home leasebacks in the Southwest. And they were great investments. Then the market crashed, and a lot of builders went out of business. So a lot of that stuff went down. And now there's some model leasebacks coming back, and we do that. But we really, when the market went down, we started doing a lot of fix and flips. We started doing REO properties, buying that way, buying from the auctions. We bought distressed properties, pre-foreclosures like we still do today. And we figured out a way to get direct to the sellers and help the sellers get out of a bad situation, put some money in their pocket 9 times out of 10, and our investors would get a great deal. We'd rehab it, we'd put a new family in that home and make it a real home. So it just evolved from there. But along the way, I found that I was helping a lot of people out because my mentors have always taught, give back. Mm-hmm. Give back. It's going to come back to you tenfold.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of people coming to me asking me, how do we do this? How do we do that? And then one of my best friends in the world, he's like my big brother, and one of my mentors, Les Brown, the public speaker, he said, Bill, you've got a lot of knowledge that you're giving away, but what's wrong with monetizing that? And I said, well, I guess. So long story short, we started coaching and doing coaching. We do our seminars. We do introductions. We also do weekend seminars, but we don't rape people. We don't charge an arm and a leg. We give a reasonable price to cover our expenses, pay our speakers that come in from out of town, and we make a reasonable profit on it. And I pick up and I work with one-on-one 10 students at a time. That's it. Because my time, I can't spend more than 10, 15 hours a week working individually with people on phone calls, emails, text messages, and in person. I've got to work with them to where they're really getting the benefit of learning all aspects of real estate investing. So we do our coaching, we do our seminars, and VIP Investor Network came about in about 98 out of requests from people just wanting me to teach them.
Wow. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. No, that is great. So out of all the experience that you just mentioned, all the different types of investing that you've done, what's kind of what's your favorite? Like, if you said, well, like, what's the one that brings you the most joy, I guess?
Well, that's a very good question. It really is because
I know I went off script a little bit. But.
No, that's cool. No, it's a good question because I love aspects of residential, like single family. Right now, we're doing a flip for an out-of-state investor that I have never met in person. I earned his business by helping him on just looking and evaluating stuff. He bought a house, not through me. We went in and looked at it, and we started out with a budget of about $40,000. But then looking at everything, I said, well, here's your options. You could do a basic rehab and get about X amount of dollars because this market in this area is untapped. There's not really any rehabs going on there, so we're going to be pushing the market. But if we did it this way and spent a little bit more money, we could get more money for it, but it's going to really be a beautiful job. I'm not one of those flippers that will go in and just put paint and lipstick on and hide a lot of things. If I put my name on it, I want it to be something when people walk through, they're like, wow. And when an inspector walks through, because most of our flips are to our end owner occupants. When an inspector walks through, I want them to look at that house and at the end tell their buyer, this is a damn good job. Yeah. This is a good quality job. So we get the money, we earn the money, and we have a right to the money we make on it, but we're not really fudging things. So it went from a $40,000 rehab to $62,000, but it's going to be great. So on the single family, I love that because we can be creative and give good value for our investors, great value for our buyers. But man, I tell you, multifamily's fun too. Going into a 15 or 20 unit apartment building and completely gutting it and redoing it from the ground up is fun. But we're doing land deals. We just closed on 25 acres out in the Southeast Valley that we're going to be doing a mixed-use commercial. So we'll have 20,000 square feet of retail space. We've got restaurant pads out front. We're going to be putting a car wash. We're putting in a mini storage. We're putting an apartment building, 200 units. And that's a 3 to 5 year project. And we're just now closed escrow on that. So I'm kind of a...
You can't say where yet, right?
No, not yet. But I'm kind of a maverick because VIP, it's not like I said, I'm just going to be a residential guy.
Yeah.
I started there. But all these opportunities, working with all these different sophisticated investors said, can you rep us on this? Can you rep us on commercial? Can you rep us on land? My weakest point is probably land because that's an expertise, but we're learning. But if you want to do a strip mall, you want to revamp a strip mall, you want to build it from the ground up, you want to do a mini storage, you want to do apartment building, you want to rehab conversions from condos to apartments or vice versa, you want to do single family, and we're even building spec homes. We'll buy dirt, split it into 2 or 3 lots, and build spec homes from the ground up. So we've got all the vendor trades partners. They really partner with us and work with us. And when we're doing this, part of the coaching is, hey, you two guys are paying for coaching. we're going out to this place, we're going out to that place, you're invited on this field trip. So what better way to learn than being there while we're talking to the contractors, while we're walking through and finding things out that we didn't know, or planning what we're going to do. It's the best education there is.
Absolutely.
So, but back to your question, what favorite? I don't think I have a favorite whether it comes to residential, commercial. My favorite thing is finding an issue and being a firefighter and coming up with multiple solutions for my investors or my partners to solve it to maximize their profitability. Does that make sense?
Yes. All right. Cool. Hey, when are we going to buy some land and start developing some tiny homes?
Tiny homes. I don't do tiny homes. That's one thing I don't do. But we can.
Very popular.
Oh,
now.
it's hugely popular.
I think it would go over very well.
You think?
Master plan community with tiny homes.
It's just not a lot of money in that unless you build a whole bunch of them.
You got to build a scale, right?
Yeah.
That's where your money is. Land cost and what you're doing. We build the spec homes that we build. We're doing something in the East Valley right now. We've got 1 acre of land. We split it into 3 lots, and we're going to put those houses up, stick homes, from floor to finish. They're going to cost us $75-$80 a foot to build. That's our cost, and we'll be able to sell those things for $240, $250, maybe $260. That's a good little margin. And what we do is we take some investors that want to bankroll that with us, or we'll put several investors together to bankroll the project, and everybody splits in the profits. But you want to build some spec homes, we got land.
There we go. All right.
Nice.
So tell us a little bit more about the seminars that you have.
Well, the seminars we do are 2 types of seminars. We do a seminar once a month that's an introduction to real estate investing, and it's 2 hours. We provide lunch if it's during the day. If it's in the evening, it's more like happy hour food. We rotate these during the day, lunchtime, sometimes in the evenings, and once in a while on a Saturday morning. And in that 2 hours, we talk about the market for Arizona, because the one thing about VIP is we're Arizona specific. We don't go outside of the state.
Okay.
But we talk about the market conditions, why Arizona is so great. We talk about the peaks and valleys. And I bring in one of our special partners, our tradespeople. Last time we brought in our hard money lender that talked about hard money and how it's different and how it really is a valuable tool and a friend. Because hard money, a lot of people think hard money is, wow, it's expensive, that's why it's hard.
Yeah.
No, it's hard money because they're lending you the money on that hard asset of that brick and mortar. So we bring somebody in that speaks for about 30, 40 minutes, and I'm in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end, and we offer free consultation for our investment education coaching, and then we set appointments with people. I interview them, and they interview me, because I need to say, if you want to spend money with me as an investing coach, I need to make sure that I want to work with you.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to interview me to make sure I'm the guy you want coaching you if you're going to put out money. So the seminars are to introduce people to us, our trades partners, and to real estate investing, and then we take it from there. Now, the big seminars we do is once a year to twice a year, depending on what we're getting as far as volume and participation. But we do a weekend summit. It's 3 days here at a nice resort in Phoenix. It's an all-inclusive price, so we feed everybody lunch every day, and we have a big banquet one night. But we'll bring in 300, 400, 500 people. Our biggest event was in October 2011. We had 1,200 people here for a weekend, and it's all things real estate investing. So we have traditional lending, hard money lending, private syndication lending. We have people that own REITs that do nothing but buy certain types of assets to there to talk about and educate people. We have different types of coaches that are experts in flipping only or wholesaling only and all aspects of real estate. For that 3 days, you're immersed in everything real estate investing with some of the best speakers there is. But the caveat to that is 25% of what I do as a coach and what I do as a trainer is help you to get your personal house in order inside. Because if what's going on in here is broken, it's going to reflect in your business externally. You might have initial success, but if you're used to self-sabotaging, you got that stinking thinking going on, and you mess things up, what we do is we work with 25% of our coaching is what's going on in here to fix it. And so we have people like Les Brown come in and speak during that weekend. Les Brown comes on some of our conference calls and other speakers that we have that are motivational or personal development coaches. So VIP is encompassing of personal development and everything investing.
Wow.
Hear that, Jeff?
That is cool.
No stinking thinking.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Great job, Bill Drevyanko. Hey,
said it right.
I wanted to make sure I corrected.
Gold star.
No.
Yes.
Oh no, that's awesome. How about the market now? Or I guess I should ask this first. So, how do people find out about the seminars?
Well, they can contact me directly. We have. You want me to give my email?
Yeah, you can.
I don't mind giving it all because I'm an open book.
Go for
So my direct number 480-797-9247. 480-797-9247. Call, talk to me directly, and I'll get information out to you by email. My email address is billdrevyanko@gmail. Now we got to spell that.
Yes.
Because nobody's going to get it. So it's Bill, Bill. Drevyanko is D like David, R-E-V like Victor, Y-A-N like Nancy, K-O. billdrevyanko@gmail.com. And they can just call me, email me. We'll send them an information outline. We'll put them on our invitation list, and we'll send out a flyer and invitation to them directly by email. And then we also post it on our social media pages.
Yeah.
And people can enroll there directly and come. It's free. It's totally free, and we feed them. And it's 2 hours of fast, good information.
You just said you're going to feed them. You know how many agents are going to sign? No, I'm just teasing.
Yeah, that's okay. That's an interesting thing, too, though, because I love the fact when we started doing this, I like working with newbies. And I thought we'd get a lot of people that were just regular folks. We've got attorneys, we've got doctors, we've got engineers, we've got all types of professional people that make good money, but they don't know what to do with it. So like one of our partners is a wealth investment advisor, and we tell people, if you don't know what you're doing with your money, we've got these partners that can help you out. So when we're talking about this, we started tracking our numbers. We found that 50%, maybe 52% of the people that attended our seminars were realtors.
Really?
Because think about it. How many realtors are investors? How many investors got their license, like me, to represent themselves?
Sure.
But how many realtors have been doing it for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, helping other people get wealthy? Because there's a lot of realtors who work with investors, but they've never had a chance to be an investor themselves. So we found that 50% of our participants are realtors.
That's awesome.
Oh, that is cool. That is cool.
Have to sign up.
So
for
we don't
your,
mind feeding them all.
All right,
your
there we
webinar,
go.
Your
There we go.
seminar.
So why don't we talk a little bit about the market? So what's the Arizona market look like now for residential and commercial?
Well, it's smoking hot, as you probably know. Our inventory is low. We don't have a lot of inventory. Days on market are relatively low. We've got multiple offers on things out there in certain areas. But the cool thing about investing is we look at what are the hot pockets. See, investors will go into certain areas like the Garfield district or the Roosevelt district downtown that are really, really hopping and very popular for investors for flips. But then there's other areas that nobody's touching them. I'll tell you right now, Moon Valley area.
Really?
Not much has been going on there the last couple of years. It even had a little stigmatism about it. But we're doing a couple flips in there right now, and now we're starting to see other flippers come in and other investors come in. There's some land in those areas that you can buy an infill piece and redo it. And cities, different cities have different mandates. But every city wants to beautify infill projects.
Sure.
So one of the things that we do is we get really attached to the city government and get to know people in planning and zoning, economic development. So we understand what a city wants. And when you go into a city and say, look, I want to help you with your 30-year plan. I'm an investor. We do these kind of things. What can we do to help you with your end goals? And when you approach it that way, they're very open to working with you.
Wow.
So especially when you're going to buy land and you want to split land and build something, that's where they're very helpful.
So with investing, with the market, let's say it's a downturn, like it's not as hot as it is now. I mean, does it still make sense to invest or?
Yeah, here's the beautiful thing about investing, in my opinion. Now, other investors might disagree with me, but right now we're in a hot market.
Yeah.
So I think that our margins have shrunk as flippers because we can't find as many properties with the margins that we would like.
Yeah.
I mean, during 2008, 9, 10, 11, I mean,
Get it dirt cheap.
we were buying properties for 20, 30, 40 cents on the dollar or 50 cents, depending on what area it was.
Sure.
And we could make some nasty big profits. To me, it's not all about hitting home run. I teach my students that, look, if you do your due diligence, you run your numbers, because the numbers don't lie, and at the end of the day, you only make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Are you happy with that?
Sure.
It's a plus.
Absolutely.
If you're in the red, it's not good. I've lost money in houses on a regular basis, but it wasn't by lack of our planning and running our numbers. It was by digging in and finding something after we dug into the walls, or we had a ceiling that we had to move, or trusses or foundation issues. But I tell people, at the end of the day, if you're in the plus zone, it's profitable. Our students and our flips, the last year, we've been averaging between 30 and 40,000 profit per house, which is high.
Yeah.
So the market's high right now. Everything's selling higher. Appraisals are going higher, but inventory is lower. So we are paying more sometimes for the house if we get it from a wholesaler, if we're not direct to the seller. Okay. Now, when the market's off and we have a crash or a big adjustment, investors are going to even make more money because houses are a lot more affordable.
Sure.
So it doesn't matter if it's a smoking hot market or if it's a really bad retail market. Investors are always going to do well if they run their numbers, because you make your money when you buy. You make your money by having good trades partners, so you're not getting reamed on your rehab dollars, and then you can sell it for a reasonable profit.
Yeah. All right.
Does that answer your question?
That answers
Okay.
my question.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is there a time, so for example, let's just say at some point we'll see, obviously, the other direction.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a given. It's historically proven, right?
Right.
When it does happen, do investors, do they take a little period of just kind of
rest?
waiting for it to get to
Good question. Some do. Remember, a temperament of an investor is as different as personalities. So I know investors, if they can't make 50 grand profit per deal, they won't do it. Others, if they can't make 20 grand per deal, they won't do it. So when the market crashes, some investors will come in here and really try to clean up, but others will go to other states.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you go to a certain time period that if a market gets so inundated with buyers or investors and there's so much going on, some people will take a breather and step back and kind of evaluate the market or go somewhere else. I mean, so a lot of people went to Texas when we kind of dried up, when it got to be a mess after the crash. And you can still buy off MLS in Texas and make good money as a flipper. Here it's a little bit different. So it really comes down to the temperament of each investor. But I've got investors, if they don't want to buy fix and flips or they want to buy and holds, they'll come to me and say, Bill, we want to put money into some of your development projects that you're doing or that you're facilitating, and we just want a nice 10 to 20% cash-on-cash return annually.
Sure.
I mean, think about it. If I came to you and I said, I'm going to give you 10% on your money, cash-on-cash, where else can you do that right now? Show me.
Well,
bank.
You can't do it in Bitcoin anymore.
No. And the banks, you're not going to do this. So you've got to be creative. But real estate investing, there's a lot of investors out there that use other people's money. We use other people's money. And as long as I'm paying you that check monthly and you're getting that check monthly, or if we get a situation where we're giving you cash on cash return annualized, but we're also giving equity in that project, then you're making money two ways. As we deliver and you make money, aren't you going to be open to us coming back to you and saying, hey, we need $50,000 for this, or we want $100,000 for this. You want to be a preferred investor in this. So one of the things with VIP, it's just not fixing, not flipping, not holding. But it's when we get into all aspects, our students will say, I want to be passive only.
Yeah.
I've got a person right now that's selling 3 properties that they had that were models, and that person wants to be passive and put that investment. It's going to be almost $1 million going into a development project at equity partnership and a really nice ROI. So
definitely,
it's all over the board, guys.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. So if somebody does want, so when you're talking about, I guess how long project wise, if it's on the residential side and somebody says I want to give some cash for the investment side, but I want hands off. What kind of turn time?
Well, we make it an annualized rate, you know, and it's negotiable, but we're always going to give them at least 10%. And even though it's an annualized rate of return, they're usually cashed out within 3 to 4 months. Our biggest rehabs that are running us 50, 60,000, none of them are taking more than 5 months, which is a long time for a flipper, especially if you're using hard money, right?
Yeah.
But if you're using private partner money in it, it's a little bit more tolerable. Okay. But if you're going to do a good job and you're spending 40, 50, 60,000 in rehab, which is a lot more than a lot of flippers will do, I say 5 months is in our balance sheet, our spreadsheet. So you put the money in, you're going to get it back plus your ROI in that time period when it sells.
Got it. Okay.
If you want to just put money in, for example, the 25-acre development deal, that's a 3-year play. You put your money in, you're getting your annualized return, plus you're getting equity, and at the end of 3 years, we're buying you out. So you're going to make money all the way around.
Got it.
That's
all right.
awesome.
All right.
Write a check.
Yeah. So I have. There we go.
We don't take Bitcoin, just so you know.
No Bitcoin. Sorry,
Bitcoin.
Jeff.
Not anymore, right? No.
No, I haven't even followed that lately. I just don't.
It's gotten pretty boring.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's a fad.
I guess so. Okay, I have on the list here to talk about too. Opendoor, OfferPad, Zillow.
Yeah.
What
Amazon.
where do you see these businesses in the real estate world? What are your thoughts?
I wish I had a crystal ball. I don't like them. I think OfferPad, Opendoor, I think they're overpaying in most cases for properties. So I think they're propping up numbers in one way, but they're also, because they're propping up numbers and overpaying, I think it hurts the market to a degree. And sooner or later they're gonna have their own correction, I believe. I don't like Zillow and Trulia because their Z estimates are usually, where the heck
way
did
they
off,
get
right?
that? What atmosphere did that come from? It makes it hard to run comps on properties. And then when you have a internet age that everything is searchable by the push of a button in a search engine like Google or whatever, consumers are more educated than they ever have been in the history of the world.
That's right.
Therefore, it can make it dangerous because you get a consumer that's well read and they believe some of the crap manufactured news that's on there, and we all know, news, that's credible and totally accurate, right? So when they read some of this stuff, it makes it harder for traditional realtors and even investors to deal with these people because they think they can steal it from you.
Yeah.
So, and then sometimes when, I had somebody the other day that said, hey, the Z estimate on this house was X amount of dollars. I go, well, that's great. You want to pay me that? I'll take it because you're about $25,000 more than I was going to sell it to you for.
Yeah.
So one of the things we do is being honest and ethical and straightforward with our people. We don't hold any punches. We're going to tell them if we agree with their assessment, they're right on, they're too high, they're too low. And many, many times we'll help people out and we'll save them money because they think they should have paid X for a property and it was Y. And we save them money because they say, look, I'm going to sell you a property that I know is going to appraise. You can get an offer on anything, but if it doesn't appraise, then you got to start over.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm not a big fan of those.
All right. Well, it sounds like you have you enjoy the coaching part of it a lot too.
I love the coaching. I love being in the field, working with the contractors and the trades and creating that kind of stuff. But I'm a teacher by nature, so I love to coach and teach.
All right. Anything else you want to share with the agents before we move to the next segment? I think we covered quite a bit.
No, I think it's good. If anybody has any questions, just call me or email me, and I'll be glad to talk to them on the phone or set an appointment. And especially if they want to get on our distribution invitation list for our various seminars. Yeah. We won't hound them. We weren't going to try to call them and sell them something. We just put them on an invitation list, and they're opting in for it, and we're good to go.
All right. Well, thanks, Bill. Okay, are you ready to get in the ring?
I'm ready.
All right.
Here it is.
Let's do it. What's the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
Give more than you get.
All right. That's a great one. How about a favorite mobile app?
WhatsApp.
Oh, there we go.
I use it for all my coaching. Yeah, I use it for all my coaching because, one, it's encrypted. It's very reliable, whether you're doing the video call or the regular calling. But I've just found it to be one of the best apps out there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great. How about a book recommendation?
Power of Positive Thinking.
That's a good one, too.
Old favorite.
How about a productivity tool or software that you use on a regular basis?
Well, for me, of course, I use the MLS as a licensed agent, but because I'm doing a lot with commercial, I like CoStar, I like LoopNet. They're expensive, but they're well worth it if you're going to be in the commercial realm.
All right. And one final question. I'll have you draw from the mask.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, be
This
careful.
is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
Who is your favorite superhero and why?
Oh.
There it goes.
All right. Well, I have two.
All right.
Okay.
Wonder Woman, because she's beautiful and strong and independent.
That's
Joey's.
Yes,
I
my
like her
favorite.
attitude. And then I would have to say Superman.
Okay, you're sticking with DC.
Mm-hmm.
DC is good.
Yep.
That's great. Hey, I would say I like the Hulk a lot now.
Oh, this is no longer Captain America.
Oh.
Well, I like Captain America,
Yeah.
but after watching that last Thor movie,
Yeah.
Oh,
is so hilarious. The Hulk just had me cracking up.
yeah. This is a good
Anyways.
series.
Anyway, well, thanks so much for being in.
Yeah.
Oh, my pleasure, guys. It's a
Appreciate
real
it.
honor to be here
Information.
and spend some time with you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love
Yeah.
Alex. She's great.
Yeah. No, she's awesome. Hey, agents out there, whoever's listening, watching, thanks so much. We appreciate you. And we want to say thanks also to our sponsor, Fidelity National Home Warranty.
Yep.
They're a great service, so try them out. Hey, guys, until next time, it's Jeff Underwood.
And Joey Sampaga.
Signing off. See ya.
See ya.
Good job.